I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to the folks at home.
Kelly and Diva both lovely.
Public comment. Do we have any public comment? It says agenda items only, but we only have two of you.
Okay. Hi, I'm Dr. Joshua Brewer, and I'm here in regards to the wall next to my property. I did receive the memorandum from Mr. Ryder in regards to legalities, and it says the memorandum outlines the riparian rights of landowners in New York State, and it is their assessment that because I have supposedly riparian rights to the middle of the stream, that the town and village are not responsible.
Actually, I was only speaking about the town.
Okay, oh, well, the town.
Just
As a town, okay, very good. But under municipal responsibility for stream damage, they have Section B, liability for affirmative acts. If a municipality constructs, alters, or maintains drainage systems, culverts, ditches, or embankments, and those actions contribute to damage, it may be held liable. Now, the town poured the wall next to my property, also poured the wall next to the town hall property, and that created a venturi that when the water flowed through that narrowed culvert, it wiped out under the municipal parking lot and my parking lot where it was just a plain stone wall. So that necessitated the town coming in and doing a second pour underneath the parking lot to redirect the stream, but they never did it on my side. So my side continued to get eroded, and the parking lot then fell into the stream. So under the liability of affirmative acts, clearly the town took some responsibility by pouring the wall and maintaining it or not maintaining the rest of the wall. They did do two pours on this side of the stream, but didn't do a pour on my side of the stream. And you could say, if everybody has riparian rights to halfway of the stream all the way up, still, walls were constructed all the way up the stream with FEMA's help. Now that FEMA's not in the picture, nobody wants to address this situation. So I would love to come to some kind of agreement with the town and or village as far as doing something there. And if we can't come to an agreement, then this will be the last you hear of me, and I will just refer it to a law firm that specializes in this, and that's going to be more expensive for everybody as far as me suing for damages and court costs, whatever. So again, I would love to come to some kind of agreement rather than just let it fester over there and more of the parking lot get wiped out. So again, I would like to reach out to somebody, both in the village and town, and try to come to some kind of understanding as to what we can do there. And that's about it as far as where I am now.
Okay, Dr. Brewer, I will confer with our attorney and the town board and see what we can come up with.
Okay.
Public comment, anybody else? Welcome to Mayor DeSalvo and Jen. Garzio.
So it's 3 syllables, not 4. That's been my mistake, too.
You guys have anything? No? Okay.
Did you get my email? Okay.
I was going to bring it up a little later in the meeting, but not that it's a lot to bring up. I'm sure you've noticed that I've been to the last couple of meetings, and I usually leave after the public hearing on the fluoride in the water. I'm just trying to gather as much information as I can, because obviously we're going to be affected by what you guys do on the fluoride, or if you do nothing. So that's the reason I've been there, and not for no other reason, but just so you know.
Well, actually, I can have one thing. I wanted to, not to contradict Mr. Sullivan, Councilman Sullivan, because I don't like to do that. But I've been digging into the lease, the registration, the landlord registration list, and there actually are from January. Richie, Mr. Councilman Sullivan had said there was nobody on it. There's actually 3 properties on it, but I was with Gabby today, I was with Phil, and I was with our clerk, Heidi, and we're digging a little bit into it to try to get people to register for that, because people have to understand it's not a punishment. It's, it's really a service to our emergency management and just knowing where people are. So we're digging a little more into that. So I just wanted to mention that.
I know 2 of those are very recent on that registry.
Are they too? She had said January, but you know better than I. But yeah, but at least we're getting.
I don't check on every day or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. But at least we're kind of digging into that. And I just wanted to mention also too that there is a softball tournament coming up the 27th and the 28th. Connect at Bat. It's to support the Connect program, and it's a 2-day softball tournament. So if anybody wants to sign up for that, there's some information. Just reach out to me and I'll get it to you. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jen.
Anything else on public comment? Okay, I have the minutes of our meeting on the 28th of July. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes as published?
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
So carried, thank you. Communications, I have a potential congestion alert. Hudson Valley Transportation Management Center Advisory. Ansville Circle to Bear Mountain Bridge. Event type yearly routine maintenance. Motorists and trucks are advised to follow the posted detour route. This will be on August the 26th through August the 28th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's for maintenance activities. So if anybody uses that, be forewarned. I transferred $107,704 from the consolidated account to the paying account to cover this week's check run. Some of the bigger items were MVP Healthcare for the healthcare insurance, $44,221. Rockland County Solid Waste for haulage, $17,852. L&L Property Maintenance for the cemetery maintenance, $8,100. Office of the State Comptroller for court fines and fees for June, $7,755. VRI for water testing in July, $3,250. Any questions on that?
That was for water operation. They have a separate bill for testing. However, they listed it.
Oh, it said testing on it, on the slip I got. Board liaison reports. We are going to start with Nancy.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody at home. Very short reports this week. Senior recognition luncheon happens at Richie's on Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. and several seniors will be recognized during the event. It's really nice. It's a nice luncheon. Attended National Night Out last week. That was a terrific event. And last week's Climate Action Committee, am I right with the name? We were down at Mindock Park getting together. There's several of us here that were there at the get-together to talk about the process of how we're going to prepare ourselves to gather information from the community at large regarding steps toward climate action. Would that be fairly? Olga can speak to it a little bit more when we get to that. But it was a terrific meeting. It was a gorgeous night to be down there at Mine Dog Park. I don't imagine there's many bad nights to be down there, so it was lovely. And it was a really nice get together. The only other, there haven't been any other meetings lately. Call coverage for the Town of Highlands Volunteer Ambulance Corps. During the month of July, there were 59 calls that were dispatched. 57 of those calls were answered. And that's a high number even for the ambulance corps, so during July, so to only have 2 missed calls. One of them was no driver, and the second call was a second call, and there's just not a crew that can man a second call when that happened. That was on the 22nd. Other than that, I don't think that I have anything else, Mr. Supervisor, so that's it. Thank you.
Councilman DeWitt, please.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everybody. Also, quiet report for me as well. The cemetery committee is finally we're reconvening for a meeting. We're trying to get together on the 19th of August just to discuss a few situations. I mean, there's new flags going up. There's a couple of sinkholes we're looking at. Some cleanup, more cleanup potential, but overall, I think our department has been doing a good job, and the mowing's been going successful. Not that it's been needed lately, because it's been dry. That's about it. Only other thing is, I know Aaron's program summer, I know we're winding up soon, but he had a band the other night up at Roe Park. I heard a few people showed up. It was a pretty good band, and there's going to be a few more of those things before the summer's over. So, check out the Recreation Facebook page, and you get all the information you want, and go attend. Jen, did you have your Narcan thing tonight?
We did. I was mentioning that we did have the Narcan. It wasn't a huge showing, but it opens up the conversation. About getting to a few more. It's just super important. New restaurants, bars, quote unquote, opening up. You never really know. So it's not, unfortunately, it's not even about when. But I was able to collect a few Narcan packets, and I'm dropping them at each of the bars. Like I dropped it at Highlands Social, I dropped it at Denny's. They were very appreciative. I dropped it at Leslie's, and I'll drop it at Parks. So it's on me. And if we're starting the school, speak to Frankie Wright. He's a good connection for getting a 12 back on. I hope you do more here. Thanks for asking.
No, thanks. No, sorry, it was a conflict of meetings tonight, but those things are always good. What was the other thing? Usually there's a Cliff meeting, the Community Leaders Information Forum at West Point, but it was canceled for the month of August, so I'm sure once the school year kicks in up there, they'll be kicking in probably. Who knows why they canceled? I'm sure people taking vacations. August is a slow month. I will yield my time to Mr. Sullivan because I believe he's got a lot to talk about. I'm sure he's going to talk about.
Now everybody just shut off their television. What you do that for?
We'll let the Councilman King go first, though.
I know he's going to talk water supply as well.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, good evening, everyone, and good evening, everyone at home. Just a few short notes from me. First, I also attended the National Night Out, which was phenomenal, as usual. A lot of good stuff in our community happening on that day, one of which was a community outreach effort. Thanks to the mayor, he joined me out there to present a scholarship to a young man, a young child, 8 years old, who's interested in scouting. My apologies for not tracking you down and inviting you as the chief scout and former Eagle Scout. But what we did is just provided enough funding to be able to pay for uniforms and all the fees to get this young person involved in scouting. So more to follow on that. We talked to the scout masters and said we would be monitoring their efforts there. Coloring, everybody knows I'm a big proponent of coloring for helping manage mental health and stress and wellness. We had 2 successful sessions of coloring with Councilman King here in the town, right there at our town library on Main Street. The first one was in May to June. The second one was in the month of August. We're now on pause. I know we have a big demand now. Everybody that came enjoyed it and wanted to see it keep going. And I say we're on pause just because the library has programming and there's other things that we're trying to manage there to coexist. But we'll come back at some point, maybe September, and just want to continue to encourage people. If we're not at the library, then get your own coloring book and your crayons and you can still keep going. But it was a very successful program. We have something we started last year that we'd like to continue, and I owe the village, I'm glad to see the mayor here, I'll turn it in tomorrow, the request for road block off, but it was our back to school block party that happened in front of St. John's AME Zion Church, African Methodist Church. It was a very highly successful thing where we gave out book bags to kids who are in need and school supplies and even a free hamburger and hot dog. And so the demand is there to bring that back. I have sponsors on deck, nothing that we have to pay for here at the town or the village for that matter. It's just a matter of using some organizational skills to put it together and get people out there. August 30th, Saturday, right before the following week of going back to school. And we'll come out there together, and of course my invitation always extended to the village board and the mayor and his team down there. So that's August 30th. That'll be approximately from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. in front of St. John AME Zion Church, pending the approval from the board. They'll get to vote on that next week. Per your clerk I talked to already, they said they'll get it up there to you for voting. So I don't know if they talked to you yet, but.
Yeah, we actually won't meet until the 4th of September, but consider it approved.
That's what I'm talking about, action. Appreciate that, Mayor.
I say that.
Look at that. Finally, one of the things near and dear to our heart here in the town of Highlands is Buffalo Soldier Weekend over there at West Point. Everybody remembers, if you've been around, Sergeant Sanders Matthews. Right here, we call him Matty, some people. He's a first African-American police officer in this town. He was a World War II veteran, and his lovely bride, Cora Matthews, now laid to rest over at West Point. Well, this year will be the 65th annual memorial for laying the wreath over there, which used to be a rock. It's now a monument. So we've got that thing accomplished in 2021. That weekend, we have people coming from all over. And this year in particular will be the second year they do a golf tournament with NFL players, former players, coming in to help with that thing right there. So that's August 30th, 31st, and 1st. Is that Labor Day weekend?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Always throws me off when it starts in August.
And Labor Day is on September 1st this year.
It's on September 1st this year. Okay, without further ado, pending any questions, I just warmed up the crowd for the star of the show, followed by my colleague.
So, after all these years, I have to thank you for being patient, because I know I'm long-winded. There's a lot of things that people have brought up as issues, and we're dealing with them, okay? So I'll start with the building department. First of all, thank you, Jen and Jimmy, for being here. I'd like to welcome back Gabrielle Conklin, who is off for vacation for a week. She, Philip, and Tiffany, things are moving smoothly in our pursuit of catching up with garbage woe. A couple things I'd like to point out. I didn't watch a village meeting, but I understand they had a public hearing and made the final decision to put out the bid, the process of knocking down 22 Mountain Avenue. Is that true?
Correct.
Okay, so that's a done deal at this point. Correct. Almost done, okay. 9 Putnam has been cut, 155 has been cut, 52 West Street has been cut. I'm not so sure that's a good thing, because now I see there's a swimming pool down there that had trees that big growing out of it. I think that one's not too far away from being knocked down. And after due process. Also, all the people involved, The infamous rooster in the area of Schneider and Prospect is no longer there. I don't know how that all went down, but the rooster is no longer there. As I've made clear for the last several months, we have a pretty big project going on tracking repeat offenders with bulk pickup and overfilling. We're taking photographs and recording the different bulk offenders. One such offender has had bulk garbage far in excess of what we take for the last 5 weeks steady, and only one of those weeks did they call in for bulk. I think that place has received 7 advisory notices so far this year, and this week, there's a bunch of pallets. The tree was cut down. There's 10-foot long limbs piled on top of it that were on the sidewalk for the whole weekend. They've been issued an advisory notice. The owner there was a bit irate today with Tiffany, and that's so be it. We're doing what we have to do. Last week, Philip Hannawalt wrote 27 advisory notices in the Village of Highland Falls. Quite a few are cars. After the violation, it goes to court, and I hope that the courts are taking these matters seriously, because that's where the fines and final enforcement comes from. I also know that there are several village trustees that have come into the building department concerned with things like short-term rentals, sanitation changes, and so far. We've had about 3 meetings where Jimmy's come down, well-documented, all kinds of information on the things when Philip was out that I saw might be deficiencies in the village code, one of them being short-term rentals. On your village code, if it's not listed on the bottom, it says then it is not a permitted use. That's where I would stand on that right now, as well as daycare centers. I know there was a daycare center that had trauma locally. I know they're regulated by the state, but they're not listed as a permitted use in the village code. Therefore, if it finds its way to Philip, it's just going to be that it's not permitted. These are the things that I've outlined that we hope to upgrade as time goes on. Water. Our water use is up almost 20%. We have gone through quite a few accounts, and many of them appear to be using 2,000 to 4,000 gallons a day in their sprinkler system. While Bog Meadow is down, Joey was out there the other day, 4 to 5 feet. We're not in any danger yet. We're going to have to write letters to these suspect accounts and to ask them to try and hold back a little bit on the use of sprinklers. And there are some meters that we are concerned with. There's one house in Fort Montgomery that is using some days 3,600 gallons. I went up there tonight. There's no swimming pool. There's no sprinkler system. There's a car sitting in the driveway with grass growing around it, and the outdoor light has been on for months, not turned off. I don't know, there'd be water coming out of the cellar window if it was leaking that bad. That's just one of the ones that we're going to have do some research on that meter to try and get this under control. So I want to talk a little bit about murky water. Everybody should have gotten the email. I sent it out before the meeting. On August 4th in the evening, I saw online a lot of reports about murky water in Highland Falls. And after the village meeting last Monday, I saw Jimmy go online with a little short video saying maybe there's a water main break. We're looking for it. We're aware of the murky water. The next day, I inquired from the few Fort Montgomery Fire Department people if they had any activities the night before. At first, they were uncertain, but later we determined that they had a driver training exercise and utilized a fire hydrant at the Holiday Inn. I did a report on that and sent it to everybody, and in looking at water usage between 6 and 7 o'clock in the evening on August 4th, approximately 3,500 gallons was withdrawn from that hydrant. And it appears that hydrant is metered such that the Holiday Inn pays for whatever comes out of it. The fire department is aware of that, and they're not going to use that hydrant anymore, but that's just the way that it's hooked up. Subsequent to that, on August 5th, we had a report of murky water on Franklin Street. Never had that, to my knowledge, in Fort Montgomery before. And on August the 8th, there was a report of murky water in Corbin Hill, which involved a person calling 911. The chief had an officer respond to that who called Tim Green, however that went down, who works for VRI and is local, lives in the Village of Highland Falls. So we are currently using about 93,000 gallons a day. That should be down around 85,000. We're working on it. In our contract with the village, we can get 150,000 gallons a day. We now have a 250,000 gallons of storage capacity between the two tanks and a check valve, so there can't be reverse flow on 218 by the Grace Baptist Church. So if we were up to using that amount of water, I can only imagine what it might be doing to stir the system. So whatever's happening, I'm not blaming anybody. It's not happening down there. Our draw for that 1 hour of 3,500 gallons, I'm not mad at the fire department. They know not to use that hydrant again. I'm just kind of disappointed that the murky water happened. They didn't do anything wrong. We all know that. And you know there's parts of the village that need assistance or relining or whatever has to go on, you know. And here's what I wanted to say about that. The 911 call, and I'm going to have this put on Channel 23, if we even use Channel 23 anymore, and on our website. The number to call if you have murky water is 845-677-3839. That's VRI's office number. Tiffany's up at the garage, and she'd be happy to take a phone call, but she's not there at nighttime. This call gets answered 24/7. VRI operates our water system, and that's what Dale Post told me. He wanted that number to be used. So I'll put that on Facebook. I'd like it to be on our webpage, and Channel 23, or whoever else we can communicate that for the future. On this,
Repeat that number, please.
oh yeah, so 845-677-3839. That's their office number, and I think Dale, Tyler, they all get sent out automatic notifications if someone calls there. Sewer, I don't have anything to report on. Everybody can go ahead and clap about that. Joey does recreation. He talked about the concert up at Roe Park. Last year at budget time, we allotted some money for Aaron to have these programs. That band was called the Uncanny Earworms. Interesting name. They were quite good. There were about 30 people up there. We even had Christopher Eakes was up there. I offered to dance with him, but he turned me down. I just wanted you all to know that, okay? So, vision. The Patriot Garden means a great deal to me and a lot of other people. Vision Beautification, the Garden Club, could all use members. Vision doesn't have a president. They have Ray Devereaux, Doris Lent, Carol Spisso. So at the Patriot Garden, which is 20 years old now, we're sprucing up for our 9/11 ceremony. That's not what my report is about. Vision, all those people, all those organizations are running out of people to pass the torch to. So if you have a chance to join, they're great organizations. Up by where the car charging spot is in Highland Falls, that little Pachysandra that is a never-ending source of weeds, that's my little spot. I pick about an hour's worth of weeds out of that every week, try and help them out. The Fort Battle site has a lecture coming up this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. You can call down there if you want to register for it. They have quite a few members, and they're always looking for new members also. You go down to the Fort Museum, and they can sign you right up. And finally, this Olga's going to talk about Saturday down at Brooks's Park. I know there's another scheduled event, but we have an event down there also. And just out of this week's bulk collection, I had 2 people text me today saying, hey, there's a refrigerator here over on such and such a road. Is it on the list? And I was able to answer them that it's legitimately on the list. So I guess I have people interested, and we're trying. And the bulk thing, we got to work on it. It is a service to have your stuff removed, but there's people that every week are putting out half a garbage truck full of stuff. We're going to have to come up with a throttle on that. And like I meant at the last meeting, I'm not beating up anybody, but the village code 194, all of that is authored from 1995. None of it has anything to do with our current way of doing sanitation. We don't have pickup weeks twice a year and all that stuff. So under our regulations, when we adjust them, we're going to make some changes to that, and we'll keep you in the loop as we do. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Chief.
The police department statistics for July, we responded to 687 calls for service. We handled 5 cases, initiated 113 vehicle and traffic stops, wrote 48 tickets, and handled 9 motor vehicle accidents.
Thank you. Kelly, you have anything? Justin, you have anything?
Just the agenda items.
Okay. I have a resolution here. We have $55,000 plus in the police car reserve fund. And in order to use that, we need this resolution to authorize the use. Whereas Town Board, Town of Highlands pursuant to Section 6E, General Municipal Law, establish certain capital reserve fund for the acquisition of police cars, known as the Police Car Reserve Fund. Whereas the Town Board desires to authorize the expenditure of an amount not to exceed $55,000 from said capital reserve fund to purchase a Ford police vehicle. This is according to the State Environmental Quality Review Act, so therefore be it resolved that a net expenditure of not to exceed the sum of $55,000 is hereby authorized from said capital reserve fund to purchase a Ford police car. Do I have a motion to move the resolution?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? No, roll call, please, roll call.
Councilmember Sullivan?
Aye.
Councilmember King?
Aye.
Councilmember DeWitt?
Aye.
Councilmember Scorber? Aye. And Supervisor Lindsay?
Aye. We have 2 people, 2 employees that have their probation ending in August, so that would be Rhonda Wallach, a police officer, and Ronald Torino, part-time mechanic at the Highway Department. Their probation ends this month. I have a letter from the Palisades Park Commission. Instead of reading this whole thing where I'm losing my voice, they are looking to expand the recreational hunting within the park. They're going to have 2 online sessions using WebEx, and this would be, where's the dates at here? Anyway, they're given the time, but I don't see any date on this. But I'm going to put this letter on online. Kelly, can we put it in? And it's got the registration numbers to call. Okay, this is the date is Wednesday, August the 13th. So not very much notice, but that's when it is. Just in this vertical bridge business, I hear that you're suggesting that it's not such a good deal. Or am I wrong?
Oh, no, I don't think I know the deal. I
okay.
suggested we find out more precisely what monetary amount they were
So
offering.
then I'll call them and set up a meeting.
Yeah, it's simple, right? They'll either provide figures or they won't, and then we can sort of do a mathematical analysis, but they didn't give any detail.
I think I brought this up to the board last meeting, or not, or at least I think I mailed them the letter out. So I'll call them up and set up a meeting. Any other public comment? Any other public comment?
Somebody go.
Come on, Olga, I wouldn't.
Good evening, Town Board, Jim DeSalvo. Just a couple quick things. I want to thank the Town Board for their efforts in regards to the summer concert series, I'm going to call it, that you guys put on with the Recreation Department. And we also have an event on August 22, 6 to 9 at Roe Park at the Pavilion. We'll have a food truck there, and also the ice cream shop in the Village of Highland Falls will be there for purchase of some nice treats. So I'm hoping that's a successful event. It's the Whiskey Crossing band that we had scheduled during the 4th of July, but the weather was not that great. I was out there doing a video, and then a bolt of lightning came down, so we called it.
It's fine here,
God sent a message. And then just a couple quick highlights from our village board meeting. I do appreciate Councilman Sullivan and the Sanitation Department for the ongoing issue with bulk pickup. And I urge residents to please call the town, please get it scheduled, please follow the procedures so that we can try to keep our sidewalks manageable for folks who need to use them. In addition to that, I have spoken with Trustee Gargiulo, and as she is the liaison for the DPW, so we're going to try to come up with something to just kind of enhance the bulk pickup program. In talking with my street superintendent Jones, he mentioned that a long time ago they did a once or twice kind of pickup in the village. Maybe we'll get a couple of containers, fill them up once or twice during the summertime and go that route just to try to assist. It's not an expense I want to take on, but to be honest with you, I see the folks in the sanitation department and they are really killing themselves. So kudos to them, and I appreciate all their hard work. Just to talk about water real quick, we do have an older system, and thankfully it's gravity fed. And with that comes when we open up a hydrant or we have a leak, even if it's a few thousand gallons, it does sometimes stir up what we call discolored water or brown water. So we try to get as much information out as we can. We tell folks, you know, it is going to happen. We are in the process of looking at yet another water line project for the southernmost part of the village. The contractor called us the other day and notified us that he was going to hold his price from 2 years ago. So at the September 4th meeting, we're going to have a serious discussion with the board and perhaps moving forward with that project. It would probably be a little sooner than I would like, but it could be a significant savings to the residents in the long term, so we may decide to move forward with that project. In addition to that, we did get a grant for Lower Bog Meadow Dam of about $2 million. We will have to put up 20%. So we'll probably do both at the same time. And with that is going to come, as I've stated at many meetings, changes in water rates. It's not something we want to do. It's not something we like to do, but it's something that going forward, and I just had a long conversation with the school about this, the infrastructure at the water system needs attention, and so we have to do it. Water is one of our most vital resources, and I have to make sure, as mayor, along with the Board of Trustees, that the water that you're paying for is the best it can be. And while we have a fantastic reservoir, and the water comes out of the plant great, the distribution is the main ingredient. So that's something we take very seriously, and we're going to be talking about very, very soon. In addition to everything that I've talked about tonight, I'd like to also add that at the last board meeting, we approved a new internet provider for the village residents, which is encompassing in the town. It's called Green Light Networks. They will provide internet service for residential and business customers. They will rent a spot from us at Village Hall, 3rd floor. And once they get set up, they'll be, peppering the community with information. $45 a month gets you 500 megabytes, $55 a month gets you 1 gig. That is significantly cheaper than the major carriers, so it might be something we participate in. And if you don't decide to go with them, you can call the major carriers and say, hey, we have another carrier in town, will you match their price? And they probably will. That was the information we got from those folks, so either way, it's a win-win. So we're happy to have that go forward. And I do want to thank the billing department for a couple properties that have been eyesores since I've been involved in government, which is the West Street property and the Mountain Avenue property. And I'm very thankful to say that we are moving forward with putting out to bid the demolition of the Purple House on Mountain Avenue. It's something that's been talked about for at least 15 years that I know about it for sure. So we're happy about that. It's about our program to enhance Mountain and Main. So it's another step in the right direction. And yes, thankfully, the rooster entered the witness protection program, as I brought up in my video. So he's out in greener pastures, hopefully, and enjoying himself wherever he is. So, and again, want to thank the supervisor for coming to the meeting as we continue the fluoride discussion. It's going to be several months, and it's important that we gather as many facts as we can. I even mentioned it to one of our fine dentists in the community, and he's going to be sending me some information so I can share that. So again, thank the board for all your efforts.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Just remind everybody, everything Jimmy talked about, sign up town and village for the alerts. A lot of information about everything that's going on. You go to each town or the village website and sign up for alerts. It's the best way to find out about everything.
Yeah, in addition to that, we did approve a new website, and that's just getting rolling now. So over the next couple months, when the new website's in place, you'll even have an opportunity to alert through the website too. So you won't necessarily need to have signed up, but you can, if you see a pothole or a water leak or whatever, you can just pop on their website and it'll send alert to the appropriate department. So I'm ecstatic about the new website because I can't stand our website. So I think once we have it in place, you guys might want to follow suit at some point. Not to say that your website's bad, but you might like it.
May I ask you a question?
Sure.
So Green Light, are they coming in with new material, or are they using the, current coaxial?
No, so great question. It actually came up on Monday night. It's going to be all new infrastructure. So they're going to put a new network hub in the 3rd floor, and then they'll run new line. So that part's excellent. And they'll give you their equipment and all that stuff. I don't know how that process is going to work. Probably similar to what you would do now if you signed up for internet. You get a modem or whatever. In some cases, the gentleman that was there said you could potentially use some of the equipment you have now if it's something you purchased and don't rent. Some situations are you continually pay for your modem with some of the bigger carriers, so you'll get a new one through them. But I'm ecstatic because it's something that people have been talking about, and it's tough to get Verizon down here or a major carrier because they just want so many people to sign on, and we can't promise that. And they've had great success in the village of Goshen. They just finished up in the village of Washingtonville. I think they were in the town of Goshen too. So they're peppering themselves a lot in Orange County. So I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Is there any other public comment?
If I may?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Olga Anderson.
I hope you bring up what the affair I went to Sunday. I mean, it was very nice, and I think you can explain what it was better than I can.
I'll do that. We had a 10th, anniversary or birthday party at the community garden on Sunday. It was lovely. We had the church members came down, Reverend Jan and blessed the garden, so I'm looking forward to some great tomatoes coming up in there. But our new manager, Annika Raza, did a stellar job in organizing fun things for kids to do, a lot of food, and just a nice community event. We had some music, people spontaneously got up and sang. It was lovely. So thank you for coming, sir. It was really a nice day. So building on that, the Environmental Committee is having its annual outdoor picnic meeting. We usually have it in August. It'll be next Saturday. We elected to do it at Brooks's Park because we haven't done it there before. So I know there's another event. We're going to try to stay out of their way. So the idea is to gather at noon for anybody who wants to go for a short hike around Brooks. I don't know how far you can go around right now. I mean, if the whole trail is open or not. Yeah, can go. And we have canoes that we could launch, just have a nice little outdoor experience from 12 o'clock on, and then from 1 to 3 we'll have our meeting. We're encouraging anybody who's at all interested in pursuing green objectives in the community to join us. We are always, like everybody else, looking for new members. So we've got a lot of plans for the coming year, and we just want to expand some of the things we already started. If you remember, on the 4th of July, we had that lovely zero waste event at the race, which that's one of my passions, is to reduce waste so we don't have to deal with so much expense going to Rockland Green. So that's August 16th. I do want to mention that relative to the grant that we got, and thank you, Council Member Sporbert, for coming to our little event last Wednesday, where our stakeholder committee was prepared somewhat for what's to come. We're going to launch the community-wide event on September 20th, and we are going to try to have this outdoors, weather permitting. AOG has allowed us to use their space, which is between the brook and the post office. I think we're going to combine our kickoff for this project along with a remembrance of the July 23 flood. So we have a couple of speakers. It's not going to be a big formal thing. We are going to introduce the program, have some exhibits, some displays. I encourage everybody to stop by. We will try to feed you too. Finally, I want to mention that thank you for trying to hang the flag for Ukrainian Independence Day. I have approached Pastor Agnes, and she is working with the clergy to create a event, but a prayer service for peace. It's going to be interdenominational. We're going to have various pastors represented, and hopefully we'll have representatives from the Jewish community, from the Muslim community, and we'll all join in trying to bring some peace into the world. So, let's see what else. I think that's it, except for, I think you told me, sir, that you were getting an electric car for the police?
We put in for a grant.
Put in for a grant for an electric car for the police. I'm just saying, you've got money you want to use towards a vehicle for the police.
It was for police. We just put in for an electric vehicle.
For our village.
Whatever we get.
Well, you may want to check into his grant. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alder.
Anyone else?
Bob, I just want to add a little
Yes, sir.
something with Jennifer and Jimmy here. The village system. So I've done water all my life and sewer, building it, treating it, the whole thing. The village of Highland Falls has one of the best systems in the area. Like Jimmy said, it's gravity. They only pump to backwash their sand filters. The only pumping subsequent to that is at Corbin Hill. For our upper elevations at Corbin Hill, we have a boost station there to boost, and that's it. It's not pumped. They have 1,600 acres, which is sort of funny. It's reversed. It's at the north end of the system. West Point has 16,000 acres, and they're south of the village. And so Bog Meadow is a great reservoir. Someday, I hope in my lifetime, to see Glycerin Hollow become another reservoir. That solves all problems for all time in Highland Falls with nobody else helping us out. But it's very dangerous to say things like, about a certain percentage of this doesn't meet the tests and whatnot. They test the heck out of that water, and the murkiness, that's unfortunate, but Dale did test. The water was safe all the time, and we chose not to send out a text message, because first of all, they go to every resident outside the village of Highland Falls, even those not in a water district. And with social media nowadays, it's amazing how exponentially quick things get out of hand. If it needed to be addressed, we would have, but so the system is a good system. Thank you for keeping it that way.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.